seatbelt. I have basically no brakes. The steering barely works. It sounds good, kind of. It stinks awful, like it's running so rich. The gear, oh god, the brakes are so bad. Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're doing a car/truck video for the first time in a long time because I got scammed. Unfortunately, I bought this vehicle and it was nothing like it was supposed to be. The seller completely misrepresented it, as you can see from holes right there and rust. And I've been doing a lot of videos about this vehicle on my car channel. If you notice, I don't do many car videos on this channel because I keep it mostly to real estate and businesses. I have another car channel, Mark's House of Cars, where I talk about cars and have a lot of fun over there. I wanted to post this on this channel, though, because I think you can learn a lot from the mistakes I made in any type of business or life and how to avoid getting scammed, kind of like I did. And I also want to put the seller's name out there because I can be a bit vengeful, and I also don't want other people to get taken advantage of by this seller. And this channel has much more reach than my car channel, and so I thought I would throw it out there in case someone ever searches it and finds it. They can see, maybe I can warn some people, help some people avoid getting scammed by this guy too. So this is when the vehicle first arrived. I brought it on Bring a Trailer, which is an online auction site. That can be a little risky. I have bought a car from there before, my 91 Supra. I've never bought any of my other cars from auction before, though. That was the first time. I bought plenty of houses on auctions, and you know, there can be a lot of risk with that. You don't know what's going to happen. Kind of like the house I have now with the solar system on it, where there's a solar lien against the equipment. I bought that at auction. Didn't realize that till after I bought the house. So there is risk in buying from auction. The reason I bought this on auction is because I thought it was a really good deal. And even after everything that happened, and I'm going to have to put a lot of money into this vehicle to make it drivable, I still might end up with a good deal even after all this, but I still don't appreciate people lying to me and being deceitful, which is what happened in this case. So I've bought other cars sight unseen all the time. I bought my Countach from a dealer in New Jersey, had lots of videos, had a pre-purchase inspection done, which you should always do, and I did not do here. We'll talk about that. Had it shipped to me. My Diablo I bought in Seattle. Same thing, had a pre-purchase inspection done. It was from a dealer. That makes it a little bit easier because there's more repercussions with a dealer if they sell you or misrepresent vehicles. My Aston Martin I actually bought locally in Colorado. That's one of the few cars I did see locally before I bought it. My Lotus Esprit I bought without seeing it from a dealer. My Porsche 928, I did go and see it in person. Both my Supras, I did not see before buying them. So I've taken some risks before and it's worked out pretty well. And doing that, eventually, you know, you're going to get bitten a little bit. So what is wrong with this vehicle? Now, I showed the rust on the bottom that was hidden from me, and the Bring a Trailer auction showed lots of pictures, videos of the guy driving it. He didn't mention any problems with it at all. Now, it's an LS3 swap Defender 110. So this is a Land Rover Defender from 1996. They took out the diesel motor, put in an LS3 motor, which is basically a Corvette Camaro motor, put in a different transmission, completely redid the interior. You can see the passenger door doesn't work. Supposedly redid the paint. Supposedly this whole vehicle was completely rebuilt, kind of a resto mod, and in fantastic shape. Well, from the get-go, when I first saw it come off the truck, I could see the rust underneath, which was hidden. And then looking at it closer, you could just see everything that was done poorly. There's chips in the paint. There's rust. The roll bar isn't connected to the chassis like it's supposed to be. And yes, that is a roll. It's a roll cage. It's an external Defender roll cage. It's supposed to be connected to the chassis underneath with another bar. That's missing. The interior pieces are all coming off. The seat belts don't work. The seat belts up front are too short. The seat belts in back are broken. The tires are actually on the wrong direction. They're directional tires. They put 3 of them on the wrong way, 1 the right way. It's missing lug nuts. The seats won't lock in on the back. The hood doesn't have a prop. The gauges don't all work. The wipers don't work. And that's the minor stuff. For the major stuff, the axles are both completely shot. In fact, we're trying to decide if he actually took parts from a Discovery, which is another type of Land Rover, which is not as off-road capable as a Defender, and put them on this vehicle with weaker axles because they're shot, they need to be built. The shocks are completely blown. That's how far the seatbelt goes. That's all the way out. That's all the way out. Obviously, the wrong seatbelts were put on. The steering is completely awful and broken. The brakes don't work. The list goes on and on and on. So I had gotten this vehicle. First time I drove it, I could tell it was just awful. You can't go over 40. The steering pulls left, right, then left. You can barely stop at all. The brakes are so bad. It's bouncing and jumping all over the place because the axles and shocks are bad. I took it to one mechanic. He sees missing bolts and nuts all over the place. And he's like, don't drive this. You cannot drive this. I will tow it back to your house. Don't drive this vehicle. It's not safe. Took it to another mechanic, the same thing. We're trying to figure out exactly how much to do, what to do on it to get it sorted out right now. Because it basically needs new axles, new brakes, new steering. And then that's aside from the seat belts and the cosmetic stuff, like the paint and rust and getting the doors and windows working. Oh yeah, the back windows don't roll down. All kinds of different stuff. Now the good part about it is it's got an LS3 V8, which runs strong. Transmission seems to be good. And supposedly they spent $88,000 doing the engine work to get this motor into it. And he showed receipts on Bring a Trailer as well, showing this is how much he spent at a shop. So after all this happened, I went to the seller, said, hey, will you work with me on this? You didn't disclose these things. And he basically said, nope, you saw pictures. That's all, you knew what you're getting into. If you want any upgrades, that's on you. I'm like, these aren't upgrades. These are things you intentionally hid. It's very obvious. He's like, nope, it was all working perfectly. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And we went back and forth like this for a while. Basically, he said he would do nothing. I talked to Bring a Trailer. They said they're going to talk to the seller, see if they can get him to help out and do anything. But they don't have any guarantees or obligations on their site. I haven't heard back from them, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with them yet. We'll see. And then finally, I called up the shop that had the $88,000 in receipts to see what they said about this whole situation. And basically, they said, yes, they did this work. Yes, they put in the motor, transmission, did some other work. And yes, they had $88,000 of work into the vehicle, but he never paid them that much. He said he whined and cried, and he ended up paying less. They wouldn't tell me how much. And he told me in email that he paid $88,000, but of course wouldn't send me an actual paid receipt or proof of payment. So he lied about that. And then the shop said to me, they're very candid, very, very nice. We told him the shocks were bad. We told him the axles were bad. We told him the brakes don't work and that this vehicle needs a lot more work and we can fix those for you. And the guy told him, no, don't fix them. I have another shop that'll do it. And obviously he did not have them do it. He just sold it, didn't disclose those issues, and lied about it, and he knew about all of it. So I told him that as well, and he stopped responding to me. And that's where we're at right now. So I suppose I could sue him. I don't know if Bring a Trailer is going to get much luck with it. I could probably win if I sued him. I don't know if it's worth the pain or not, but I still may pursue that with the shops and mechanics and Bring a Trailer and everything, showing what he said and did. I have everything he said in emails. It was all in writing, so that was nice. That hood doesn't latch right either, of course. So we'll see. Now I paid $96,000 for this Defender, a lot of money. But these Defenders are worth $150,000 to $200,000 if they're done right with all the things fixed they're supposed to be. So that's one reason why I bought it, was because it was a good deal. And I kind of wonder if I was missing something, and I definitely was missing something. But he showed pictures underneath. He showed pictures of the motor. He just skipped all the bad stuff and hid some stuff like the broken seat belts. He tucked them in and didn't show the shocks up close. I don't think. There were just some things that I could have done better and that he missed. Now, with an auction, there's quite a few vehicles I was looking at, bidding on. You don't know which one you're going to buy or which one's going to be low enough to bid on. So it's tough to go say, oh, I'm going to go fly out, look at this vehicle, drive it, do a purchase inspection. it's tough to spend thousands of dollars on each vehicle you're interested in getting. And so that's what makes auctions tough. Now, if this was a dealer, I could have gotten a pre-purchase inspection done, probably put a deposit down, saved it. I knew what the price was up front. That makes it a lot easier to buy vehicles. Same with kind of an individual who wasn't doing an auction. So auctions are risky, right? And I knew that. So buyer beware. But that still doesn't excuse the seller from intentionally hiding stuff and not disclosing stuff. Same thing in real estate. If you intentionally hide stuff, don't disclose material facts. It doesn't matter if you say a house is sold as is. It doesn't matter if you say you never lived in a house. If you know things that are material facts, which means significant damage, significant encumbrances, significant issues with the house that would affect its value, you have to disclose it. You have to. It's a law. And if you don't, you can get sued. The real estate commission can actually come after you. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen in those cases. So I'm not as familiar exactly with the car laws on that. I know if it's a dealer, and especially in New Jersey where this is from, yes, 100% you can go after them, sue them, but it's trickier with an individual. Now, whether this person should be a dealer or not, that's yet to be seen. Maybe they should be, and let's talk about that some more. All right, so first off, who is the seller? This is Bring a Trailer, an auction site, and you can see lots of Defenders selling, but a lot of them have diesels or original. There's a wide range of where they sell for and how much they sell for, but you'll find the LS3 swap vehicles will sell for a lot more. Like this one sold for $140. This one sold for $141. There's another one up here that sold $450, I believe. But anyway, here's the one right here that I bid on and I won. The description of the vehicle, all the pictures. Here's the receipt showing $88,000 in work. That's who I called and talked to. And then the seller is, where is this seller? I know it shows it somewhere else, but they are, and other people were bidding on it too, and a lot were surprised it bid for so cheap, and I guess maybe some other people saw what I didn't see. But wow, there is Bruno Fida, and that's his real name. And his story, and he told me this after I won the bid and sent my deposit in and everything, was he had the vehicle in Europe. He had a shop in Albania fix it up. They did the interior, paint work, all that. Still saying it was super nice and in perfect shape and everything. Then he had it imported to New York, has clear title. I do have the title. And that's where they had the motor swapped and all that work done. So there was a lot of work done on the vehicle. Not sure how good all the work was done before the motor swap. The motor swap work seems to be pretty decent. So, and this guy isn't just an individual, he has a company, Alba Shipping. So there is, why is Google doing this? I do not ask you to do that, and it just started doing it. Sorry. So here's Alba Shipping, his company, and he wanted to ship the company with his company as well, and he wouldn't give me a bid or quote, so I'm like, no, but I'll just have it shipped on my own. So I did that, had it shipped to me. And the interesting thing here, though, is he's got all kinds of vehicles he's shown shipping. And he told me that he's doing another Defender with this same situation where he's buying one, fixing up, and selling it. And so I kind of asked him, hey, how many of these cars are you selling a year? And he wouldn't respond. I'm like, because if you sell a certain amount of cars, you should be a dealer. You have to have a dealer's license. And I'm like, do you have your dealer's license? And he wouldn't respond to me. So when I started asking too many questions, he just wouldn't respond. There are some Google reviews. Wow, why are those showing up? This is the most recent ones. Obviously, that's me. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 5, 2 stars, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. I mean, you got to work pretty hard to have that many 1 stars. So do not do business with this person. Do not trust anything they say, obviously. Some major issues here. And then let's see if we can show some more of what I'm talking about. Will it just log me in automatically, or do I have to? Oh, just show me the page. Get out of here. Okay. That's the wrong one. Oh, here we go. So here's what I'm curious about. This is his Facebook page. And from this year, sorry about that. Vehicle. He's selling these vehicles for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale. So I'm like, I think you should be a dealer. So if I wanted to, I'm curious if I contacted New Jersey licensing and all of that stuff and discuss this guy's selling of vehicles and cars and him not being a dealer, if that would get some headway. Not sure. You know, I've had a few times where people rip me off, scam me, etc. And I'm not one to just say, oh, it's fine, turn the other cheek. One, I don't want other people to be scammed, and two, I don't like being scammed, so I'm willing to turn over a few more leaves maybe than the average person to figure out how to make a situation right, in my opinion. So not only did I leave reviews everywhere I could, we're talking about him right here, but maybe we'll pursue this even farther as well. So that's where we're at right now. Just thought I'd share this. I'll leave you with a driving video showing the wonderful characteristics. And I was real silly because I thought it would be a good idea to make this my daily driver and sell my Velociraptor. And I've talked to a lot of people who have Defenders and daily drivers, and they say you can make it work, but you know, they've got to be set up right. Obviously, this one is not set up right. Maybe we can get it there. Maybe not. I still have my Raptor. I'm still driving it while we figure out this situation. Of course, some things I could do better. I should have asked a few more questions about the brakes, axles, things like that. I knew they should have been done. I knew those things need to be done when you do an LS3 swap, but I'd seen a lot of vehicles. I'd been on a lot of vehicles, and I thought I'd asked them. It turned out I didn't. You know, you can't trust people to do the right thing. You've got to really be careful, get things in writing on what's done, what's not done. Pre-purchase inspection maybe could have been done after I paid the deposit. It would have been, I guess, a little tricky with the timing and everything, and I wasn't sure exactly how that works with Bring a Trailer. Once you pay the deposit and secure the car, are you obligated from that point? It kind of seemed like you were, but maybe if there's major issues that you find that aren't disclosed, you can get out of it. So I could have done a little more there as well. And you know, the auctions can get you worked up. They can get you excited. You get stuck in the moment. You want to be the winning bidder. You think it's a good deal. And it's smart to really do your homework, do your due diligence, and not get too caught up in those auctions. So those are a few things I could have done better. In the end, I've gotten really lucky buying cars and shipping them and made a lot of money on my cars. Almost all of them have gone up in value. So it's not the end of the world. We'll see if we can get it fixed. If we do get it fixed and everything worked out, still might be a really cool vehicle, still might work as a daily driver, and I still might get a good deal, but definitely not as good of a deal as I thought I was getting. All right, thanks for watching. Of course, we'll have more real estate stuff. If you want to check out more car stuff, check out Mark's House of Cars. Like I said, my Diablo, Countach, Aston Martin, all those I've got multiple videos on and different stuff, and we're doing shorts and all kinds of cool stuff on there. And like I said, here's a beautiful driving video to end. So I can't wear a seatbelt. I have basically no brakes. The steering barely works. It sounds good, kind of. It stinks awful, like it's running so rich. The gear, oh god, the brakes are so bad. This tells me park, reverse, neutral, drive, but there's like a lot more settings than that, I know. But I think that's where I want to be. I don't know what all the settings are. So we're just going to drive it a little bit and then take it straight to the mechanic. And I can't go over 40 because the steering is so bad. It is just all over the place. And then all of a sudden it catches and pulls you. So it sounds okay. It has some power, but it smokes. The motor smokes. wearing a seatbelt. I just wear a seatbelt all the time, and it just feels like something's awfully wrong. Oh, do you have air conditioning on? I don't know. That does actually work. Oh, the brakes are getting worse. I mean, we were just going like 2 and I can barely stop it. Like, I'm not doing this to be dramatic. This is literally, I'm going 35, and I don't want to go any faster. It's just all over. Like, I drove 10 miles into work today, and that was the scariest drive of my life. I mean, I've driven over Trail Ridge Road with 10 feet of visibility in the fog before in my 91 Mustang 5.0. That wasn't as scary as driving this thing on regular roads. My wife was with me at that time too, and she'd never been on Trail Ridge Road before, had no idea what we were driving over. The next day we drove back over it, and she wasn't real happy when she saw what we were going over. Yeah, so I've got a lot of old cars, a Countach, a Diablo, an Aston Martin, Supras, Porsche 928. I've driven some other older cars, and they obviously are not modern cars. They've got their quirks or differences, but you're still drivable. This thing is just not even drivable. The shifting is so rough. There's just not just little rattles, big rattles all over. Oh, and I planned this wrong because I've got to get back on the main road again, which I don't want to do. My blinkers stay on too. I don't have plates yet, so I really don't want to get pulled over either. The brakes are awful. So I'm driving around like a, I don't want to say grandma. Some grandmas are great drivers, but my left blinker on the whole time so it doesn't shut off. That happens in the Countach too with both of them, but I've known that you gotta put it back up. Not a big deal. This one is just the left one won't come back on. The right one does go back to the normal position. Some people think that's awful. I think it's really nice. The only time it ever has an issue is if you're